Hi, good evening. My name is Benjamin Myers, and what I'd like to do is spend a little bit of time talking with you about the topic of health food affordability and the impacts it has on levels of food insecurity. So I thank you for being a potential investor in my research on health food affordability and its effect on food insecurity. So I'd like to go ahead and get started. So again, thank you for your time. First and importantly is to identify what is a healthy food. So a healthy food is a food that a person can eat that provides them essential nutrients. This food is also low in fat, especially saturated fats. It is a food that helps provide an active lifestyle for persons. It also promotes healthy body functioning, and it reduces sickness and disease. So essential nutrients include your fats, carbohydrates, proteins, and then especially your vitamins and minerals. Being low in fat means that in addition to being low in saturated fats, that it's not going to increase levels of obesity, and in addition to that, also increase levels of potentially clogged arteries, leading to heart problems. Your food should also give you enough energy to promote an active lifestyle, but not be a surplus of nutrients or energy so that even after your activities, it would lead to weight gain. Your healthy body functioning and reducing sickness and disease has to deal with eating foods that are higher in antioxidants and promoting health and a healthy body functioning such as your immune system. So, what is food insecurity? Food insecurity is those persons who do not have enough food to meet certain requirements or demands for their body, to meet active lifestyles, and some other points. So, food insecurity is faced from inadequate economic resources. Essentially, people don't have the amount of money to purchase foods that are healthy. The foods that they can purchase are not safe and or nutritious foods. They do not promote an active and healthy lifestyle, and food insecurity deals with all household members. So in a little more detail, food insecurity means that essentially people do not have the economic resources to regularly pay for and consume healthy foods. Their foods are less safe and nutritious, usually higher in preservatives, higher in fats, higher in sodium content, and can potentially lead or promote sickness and disease. They are counterproductive to an active and healthy lifestyle, and again, they are something that affect all household members. There is a link between affordable healthy foods and food insecurity. And the link is most closely associated with healthy foods becoming more affordable and food insecurity decreasing. So essentially, as people have more money and economic resources to make more informed decisions and buy healthier foods, then food insecurity levels will decrease. This is a big part of making sure that our nation moves forward towards making sure that everyone has healthy foods. And you can just see from a few of the images here that a lot of times affordable healthy food also leads to family togetherness and happiness. So why decrease food insecurity? There are several reasons that we should focus on decreasing food insecurity. One would be to decrease the gap between our social classes. Typically, we have what are called haves and have-nots. The haves typically very easily have access to healthy foods, and then the have-nots are those who cannot afford healthy foods, which is promoting sickness and disease, and then that's going to have an impact on all social classes. Why decrease food insecurity? Well, it also reduces health-related risks. It offers a wide variety of healthy foods. So as we focus more on eating healthy, then the food system could potentially change and offer more healthy foods. In addition, it promotes a more active and healthy lifestyle. And then in addition to that, we can make positive changes to our food system and those positive changes are going to most likely lead to more sustainable agricultural practices. So there are many benefits ranging in various areas for why we should actually decrease food insecurity. So what are some of the potential problems associated with food insecurity? As mentioned before, one of the main issues is that with increased food insecurity comes an increase in disease and sickness. In addition to that, there's gaps between social classes. It means that there's going to be less variety of foods, and in more detail, that's going to mean more or less nutritious foods. It's going to lead to less active lifestyles, and with less active lifestyles, again, we can go back to the first point, that it's going to increase disease and sickness. And lastly, and probably most importantly in terms of our agricultural system, food insecurity is going to lead to unsustainable agricultural practices. So these are significant problems that come along with food insecurity, and this is one of the main reasons, or the main reasons, why food insecurity should be decreased through increased levels of healthy foods. So what are some of the steps that we can take, and you as a potential funder, for affordable healthy foods? Well, the first thing is we're going to need government support, and government support can come at all levels. It can come from the federal level, the state level, or local levels, or a collaboration between the levels of government. We're going to need in-store promotion. We need to focus on healthy foods being promoted in stores, more sale of healthy foods, more promoting of the healthy foods in store as far as signage and management techniques to try and move more healthy foods in the stores. Retail discounts are always a popular way to move food items from stores. So if we can find creative ways to create more retail discounts, that would significantly help. Bulk purchase savings is another tactic that food stores use to sell higher volume of items. So why not do it with healthy foods? And then lastly but not least, reducing the price and the portion size. So as we can reduce the prices of our healthy foods and reduce the portion size, typically in a lot of American diets, volume of food intake is an issue. So if we can appropriately reduce the portion size and the pricing, that would be another way to create more affordable healthy foods and reduce levels of food insecurity. So of course we need to discuss some of the challenges to reducing food insecurity, because obviously obesity is an issue in this country, and there are players within the food system that are challenging levels of healthy foods and promoting levels of food insecurity to rise. So the pressures are coming from different areas, but usually and typically they take place within the U.S. food system at some point. So food companies in themselves may pressure us to continue to put unhealthy foods into food stores because obviously it is a money maker for them. The producers who sell their foods directly or indirectly to food companies are pushed by food companies to continue to produce unhealthy foods. So we're going to have to focus on food companies and producers. The food stores who are actually providing foods to consumers are going to have to change their habits. This can be a challenge because there's a lot of political influence from the large food companies and the producers to continue to work together to provide unhealthy foods, which definitely affects levels of food insecurity. And of course, as pictured here, the fast food environments. So as fast food environments grow and continue to increase in this country, this is significantly challenging levels of food insecurity, not in terms of volume of food, but in terms of volume of available unhealthy foods. There's also a cultural difference towards healthy foods. So in addition to some of the direct effects of food insecurity coming from the food system, we also need to spend time understanding the cultural differences and attitudes towards healthy foods so that all social classes and all cultures are educated and informed about what healthy foods are and how to access healthy foods. So who should be involved? Well, I'm speaking with you as a potential funder, and I appreciate your time in doing so. And so in addition to yourselves being involved, we need to, of course, involve the following. So consumers are going to be our direct line of involvement, and they should be the ones who are definitely focused on, because consumers have a lot of influence on what is happening in food stores and across the food system. We're going to need to make sure that we focus at the federal, state, and local government levels, either collaboratively or individually. We need to focus on food stores themselves and potentially try and impact what areas they focus on in terms of foods being sold. We need to focus on food producers, processors, and distributors, which is a major part of our U.S. food system, and see if we can't persuade them to, with various tactics, focus on more healthy foods being provided. And then special interest groups. We also need to involve special interest groups, because they're also groups that get involved with making sure that people are educated, and they have a special interest in making sure that this trend towards unhealthy foods is reversed. So it is a supply and demand issue, and if we can focus on these areas of involvement, then we should be able to make impacts on providing more healthy foods. And lastly, we're going to need a level of funding. At the government level, we could use government subsidization to increase levels of healthy foods being provided. Grants are going to be another way that we can increase our level of funding. We can look at local levels, or we can work collaboratively between local levels, government subsidization and grants. And we also need to be able to focus on broadening our scope of success if things work at the smaller levels, and see how we can move up from there. So I appreciate your time as a potential funder, and I hope to be hearing from you soon. Thank you.